Right.
Chantel, Mrs. Torres, I'm sorry. Can you give the consumer tips on avoiding identity fraud so they're not in my situation?
There's a lot of different tips out there you can use. First off, when it comes to computers, make sure that you utilize different things that mask your identity. Encryption is always good. If a company doesn't necessarily need your social security number, don't give your social security number out. Don't give out what's called PII, which is personal identifying information. A lot of things that companies request from you is actually not necessary, and you have the right to deny those requests. Outside of legal documentation or medical, you don't have to give that out. Most companies, they just want it because then they can kind of connect you with all the rest of your stuff, which isn't a good thing. If you want to protect your data, that's like the best thing you can do is keep those things secret, keep them private. You don't want to hand those out to people either on the streets or even companies. Just because a company is a company, we saw with Equifax that nothing is really not able to be broken into and hacked, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to do that. If you don't absolutely have to give it out, don't. Outside of that, make sure you shred all of your information. As an investigator, we get a lot of information from trash. Once your stuff is in your trash, then it's accessible and it becomes public information.
That's why surveillance is so important in investigations in conjunction with network security experts. It's called corporate espionage. It's the most growing business, and no one can keep up with technology, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, people use different types of surveillance. When you talk about technical surveillance measures, they use bugs and bug sweepers that can counteract that measure. But they have people who do surveillance and they just come in and talk to people and they obtain information. If you have somebody who's fraudulent, they can use a phone call to pretext you and try to get information, solicit information from you. We see a lot of the elderly down here that's what they fall victim to, is pretext calls where the people call and they solicit the information willingly, bank numbers, information that should really be protected, and then it gets into the wrong hands and it becomes a nightmare for the people who fall victims to identity theft. So there are different types of surveillance and identity theft measures that you can definitely utilize to stop that.
So I'm very happy that you did do my domestic case, and we're still not done. Are you going to continue domestics?
I don't know. We'll have to save that one for later. But
I'm high maintenance.
You are a little high maintenance, yes. But outside of that, just domestics have never really been my forte. I don't mind doing, fraud and investigations, but domestics are just, they're too close to home, I guess.
Did you feel like I was a pathetic mess when you met me?
No, I thought you were a little crazy at first. I told you that, but then afterwards I realized that you weren't, and that, that there was a lot of basis for what you thought was going on, and a lot of proof to verify that.
There's a lot of proof. But now we're
Absolutely.
trying to clean up the mess, and it's a mess.
Absolutely.
And Chantel is amazing. Any corporation that needs an investigator, please contact Torres and Associates. Not only does she run her own business, she's president and CEO, she knows everyone in the science industry, corporate espionage, all the specialists, and she will get you to where you need to be. And I am so honored to know such an awesome person. And she became my friend through this forever. Absolutely. She told me I need to live again and enjoy life. So